The opinions expressed by the host and guest of Old Drunken Discography are just that, opinions. Our views are based solely on how we feel about the content we are discussing and mean no harm to your precious little feelings. If you are offended by anything we say, maybe you should go outside, ride a bike, take a walk around the block, maybe even pet a puppy. We are just a group of old grumps who like music, alcohol, and arguing with each other. No one should take us seriously. Seriously.
Greetings and welcome to Top Songs, the show where we come together and give you our unasked for opinions for top songs of any given artist. Today we'll be doing Nirvana's top 5 songs. My name is Dork Joe, and with me, the Claw Machine King, Ed. How are you, Ed?
Hey man, just trying to get some stuffed animals out of the machine. Doing great, doing great, my friend. Here, looking forward to talking about some Nirvana tunes.
Good to hear. Once an extra on You Can't Say That on Television, Jason. How are you, Jason?
I'm good. Better not say I don't know.
That's right. We'll get slime. If you haven't seen this show before, this is where we rank songs. We give you our top, however many songs, hence being called top songs, of any given artist. Housekeeping today. If you haven't seen any of our other shows, please go watch them and give us the views. We're new, and it'd really help us. Also, please like, share, subscribe, tell your mom and pa about us. That'd be great. If you're part of our Discord, Twitter, Patreon, Reddit, we really appreciate you. If you're not part of our Patreon, Discord, all the other social media sites we have, we'll have links below for you to join. Come talk with us. We're going to kick things off. Just get right into it with Ed. Ed, give me your number 5 song.
Number 5 would be "Drain You" of Nevermind. It's I think from what I've heard, people talk about on YouTube, Kurt thought that this was actually going to be the big hit from the album. Before never "Smells Like Teen Spirit" blew up, but I think I heard like some interviews when people say that on YouTube. But regardless, it's one of my favorite songs. I think the riff is so catchy. The chorus is fantastic. Chew meat for you. Pass it back and forth. I mean, all that stuff is it's pretty neat. I enjoy the song. I enjoy the lyrics. I think and it's fun to play too. It's one of those songs that is just really fun to play, even if you're beginning a beginner guitar player. It's a good one to learn. It's really simple, really catchy. So yeah.
It's one of the more popular ones, but you could tell it was one of his favorites because most of his live shows they generally had Drain You playing. Like they usually
Oh yeah.
out Drain You.
Yeah.
Jason, give me your number 5.
My number 5 is Even in His Youth. This wasn't on an album though. This was I think it was on Teen Spirit single. I love the lyrics are kind of dark. It's kind of like a relationship with your father. The chorus is just amazing. He was born before your crew. I've got nothing left to prove. If I die before I wake, hope I don't come back a slave. It's very. It's one of his more darker ones. You can tell why they didn't put it on Nevermind because it doesn't really fit that, even though it was recorded around that time. But it wouldn't have been a good single, I guess.
My number 5 is also Drain You. Now, this was picking 5 songs from Nirvana, very tough. I'm sure Ed and Jason, you can agree
We did a top 30.
with me there.
Mm-hmm.
So really, School and Drain You kind of fought for my number 5 spot. I like both of them. I love the live versions of them a whole lot. But the opening of One Baby to Another Says I'm Lucky to Have Met You, I love it. I like his voice in that. Big fan of this one. Number 4, Jason, give me number 4.
Um, Jesus, this was fucking hard. You know how fucking hard this was? Frances Farmer will have her revenge on Seattle off of In Utero. I don't know if you know the story of Frances Farmer. It's fucking tragic. Um, you could see why he wrote the song, why he used Frances as a not a muse, but as an inspiration for that, because he was kind of going through the same thing. But it's actually a hopeful song, which is rare for Nirvana. I mean, the ending with "She'll come back as fire and burn all the liars." Um, it's just a great song. It's uplifting. It's a revenge song. I mean, you gotta love it.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, and it's one of the I think one of the well, not few, but one they didn't really write. Well, one of my picks coming up later is about this too, but a lot of times he wrote about personal stuff. He wrote very few things about other stories, and now I think, and that's probably like one historical event that he
Yeah, but I think
yeah.
I think Francis Farmer's very personal because he was going through the same thing with the media
Yeah.
and the
Oh yeah,
Courtney
that's
and all
true.
that
Yeah.
shit. Like he was just being, they were just tearing them down constantly, and
hmm
he used Francis Farmer as a metaphor to. He related to it, even
Yeah.
though he wasn't. I mean, what they did to Francis was much worse, but it
Hmm.
was the
Yeah.
same concept.
Same area, also. I mean, it's somebody to easily to relate to.
Hmm. He saw a lot in that story. He took a lot from it.
My number four is going to be Aneurysm. Just his voice singing that "Come on over and do the twist," how it starts out. I love it. I am not a huge fan of the Incesticide beat it" backing vocals, but the
Man, that's dude cool.
just because of him, it's not good. That part just doesn't fit to me. Now, probably because of how much I listen to the Muddy Banks, so that's probably why I prefer that version of it. But I love that song. It's
It's I mean, it's hard to listen to a live album, but they were so much better live than their studio shit. But
I love you so much it makes me sick. Ed, number four.
yeah. Wait, you said aneurysm for your
Uh
pick? Uh, that's the one that says "Come on over and do the twist,"
huh. Uh huh.
right?
mhm.
Yeah, that's a good song. I always and that song has the double meaning of uh, drugs as well, right? Like doing the twist,
Yeah, it's
shoot and all that. And I was wondering if like it took me a while to catch on to that, but the more I listened to the song, like talking about she's what is it, pumping straight to my heart, like as in bringing them back to life. So like it
yeah.
took a while for me to put it together, and I was just like, oh my gosh, the meaning behind that song is a lot more than I thought. Um, but
That's
anyways, yeah, that's a good.
another live staple there too. They played that one a lot live.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely good. I'm gonna pick Tourette's for mine because
I thought
it's
you was
just
about
a
to say
crazy
aneurysm
song,
also.
man. Uh, what is it?
I thought you was about to say aneurysm also. I was like, oh, come on now.
Yeah,
Oh no
this
no
is
no no no.
this
Yeah,
isn't scripted. We don't know each other's picks.
no
Unlike the
no
Gaslight
Tourette's.
Anthem video where we had to re-record it. You'll see that later, or if you haven't seen it already, yeah, we don't know each other's picks, so
Yeah, no, I like Tourette's. It's just a crazy song. It's a fun song. Um, it absolutely, I think, encapsulates his feelings at the moment. I don't know how he got through that song. I'm talking about like performing it in the studio. It must have been the last ones he did because he had to blown his voice out after that. Um, but it's a good one to listen to if you just want to get something out of your chest.
and we kind of mentioned this on the Gaslight Anthem, how The last two tracks could have been swapped. You can't swap Tourette's and All Apologies.
No,
Like that would have been weird.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
They are
true.
exactly where they need to be in that album.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a like, and then you just chill out.
Mm-hmm. Number three for me, I believe I go first, right? Yeah. Number three is Something in the Way. So off Nevermind, I've just really always liked this song. Now Under the Bridge thing always makes me go, are we listening to some Red Hot Chili Peppers? Is that what happened here?
Somebody needs to do a mashup of that. Something in the way and under the bridge.
Uh huh. But I mean, if I just I like it. I like how it sounds. I like how people have used it in movies and TV shows. I want to say there was something real popular here lately that came out with it.
Yeah, I think it shot up on the radio charts or something. Not radio, but
It
Billboard, whatever
was
the
the
fuck
new.
it
It was a
is.
new Batman movie,
Yes, that's
and
what it
the
is.
article that came out said new Batman movie. I'm paraphrasing here, but it said new Batman movie finds new Nirvana song or something to that sort. And my first thought was like, that's like the closing track to one of the biggest albums of the '90s. Like, what are you talking about? Found a lost Nirvana song. I think what they were meaning is that that it was bringing it back into the charts and all that, and I get that, but they could have worded that a little bit differently.
Yeah,
That's a fantastic tune, though.
I love that, and it could be because I'm old and I like things that I know in movies and shows coming out. Um, but I really enjoy this song. Always have. Um, I like the fish don't have any feelings part, or the catching the animals and they're now my pets.
It's okay to eat the fish because they don't have any feelings.
Uh huh. Love this song. Ed, give me your number three.
I'm going with the same tune, man. Something in the way, but not the one off the Nevermind. The BBC session one, and there's a difference because there's a part in the BBC where it's mellow, but then Dave kicks in with a do 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 ta, and he goes hard on the drums. And Kurt is not saying softly something in the way; he's actually like belting it. And the dynamics of that, it's probably one of my favorite things that I've heard in a really long time. And if you guys have not checked out the version from the BBC sessions, that is the best version, in my opinion, of something in the way.
So, would you say the best version of Polly is New Wave?
Uh, I don't mind it, but no, no,
I was waiting
because
for the
this is
shoe to
this
drop
is
on that one.
different. I mean, I think it does justice to the song to do it that way because it shows a little bit of anger. I always thought something in the way is a fantastic track, like acoustic. I think Butch Vig said he turned everything off.
Oh, they had to
Versus
turn
late on the cat. Yeah,
everything, like air conditioning.
yeah,
The entire building had to be silent to pick up his voice.
yeah. And he said you could hear a pin drop, and like the acoustic was a little off, out of tune, and everything was just kind of like its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this version that I like the most, I like it because it like I don't know, it shows a little bit of anger. It's not so mellow the whole time.
Yeah,
But this is my preference.
I bet Steve Albini could have fucking recorded that song better. But
Shut up. Uh,
All right, Jason, number three.
all right, my number three is probably gonna be a controversial one.
Is it Florida
Oh
Harbor?
no,
Don't mess with Mayberry.
it's further down the list. I hate myself and want to die. Um, this song, this album, we were super hyped for this soundtrack. This is off the Beavis and Butthead Do America soundtrack. Me and my friend Michael, we went out and bought that bitch on cassette day one. I mean, it had a new Nirvana, new Aerosmith, um, Chili Peppers were on it. Cher. It's just great. It's one of the best soundtracks ever made. But this song, it's everyone. We didn't know at the time, but everyone said, "Oh, it was a cry for help." But I don't think it was. It was a joke song. People would ask Kurt how he's doing. He'd say, "I hate myself and want to die." That was actually the working title of In Utero, but he changed it because he thought people wouldn't get it. They take it too seriously, too literal. Um, there's a spoken word part in it that I don't know if you know it, Ed, but it's words are broken lies. Most people don't realize that large pieces of coral, which have been painted brown and attached to the skull of by common wood screws, can make a child look like a deer. And he says it so low and so twisted and dark, but it's actually from Saturday Night Live. It's a comedian. I don't know if you remember. If you don't know if you watched Saturday Night Live back in the '90s, but they did this Deep Thought skit, and that was one of the Deep Thought skits. Was called Coral.
with Jack Handy.
Yep, Jack Handy. And but the way he reads it, it's all dark and ominous. But it was one of Kurt's personal, his little inside jokes that he did, where the whole song is just a joke. And I also think it has he uses those you know kind of like Drain You, where what was the line you said earlier about chew your meat for you? That to me that it's romantic. It's a romantic song. That line is
It's a
very
love song. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very romantic song, even though it's like
Gross.
yeah. And I hate myself and want to die kind of has that same thing. Like if you have a cold, even if you have a cold, still like still being with somebody if they're sick, like I'll still be around you. Like it's that gross, but it's also like true love, like true. It's romantic. I don't know. So that's my pick. I love that song. It sounds good. Albini, top notch Albini shit.
Telling you that Albini, man. We need to bring him on the show.
He might do it. I've seen him on YouTube before.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
I'll take some of that. Ed, give me your number two.
Uh, Definitely gonna go with Polly for this one. I really love the song. I love the story behind it. I mean, not obviously what happened, but how Kurt was able to grab that particular scenario and put it together into a song.
Good save.
I love the story about him showing it to record executives, and I think he said he knew not to take one deal because one of the guys seemed to actually like be for the guy violating the girl more than feeling empathy for the girl. So Kurt was like, "Yeah, I'm not signing with you guys." I just love like the whole story around the song Polly. There's a lot more to it than just like putting the events in a clever way. But yeah, it's one of the ones that I really love, and I also love the harms that Dave puts on Nevermind with it. So
Don't ask Joe. He don't like Dave Grohl singing backup now.
As long as they don't say beat it, we're okay.
Polly, man, you like them slow songs. Polly, something in the way. Is All Apologies your number one there? But no, Polly. This is 1991, and somebody wrote a song like that and recorded it and put it on an album is just. I think Nirvana. No, I know Nirvana turned me into a feminist. Feminist. I mean that song. And it's kind of funny. Yesterday, I was watching another YouTube channel. I'm not going to say their names, but It's a bunch of older guys, older than us. They're more into the whole '80s metal and '70s rock, and they were doing a video about best-selling albums of all time and that they couldn't get behind. One of them even said Abbey Road, but they all didn't agree with that one. But they all agreed with Nirvana. And the one guy that brought it up was like, "Smells Like Teen Spirit was a great song, and I went out and bought that album, and then the rest of it was just horrible. It sucked. Polly Wants a Cracker. What kind of bullshit is that? It's like you have no idea what that song is actually about. Like, you think he's just talking about a fucking bird? You're a goddamn moron."
I mean, like it's weird. Like with as much depth as Kurt had an artist, like I can't believe that people still just don't know that like there's more to his songs, and even if it's not the entire song, pieces of the song, there's more to them than just what it says. It's always got the double meaning.
I mean, something like a song called "I Hate Myself and Want to Die" it has so much meaning and so many different things going on that people just write him off as, oh, he was just a junkie, killed himself. No, there's fucking so much more,
Hmm.
you know. But yeah, Polly's a good pick.
Polly is a really good pick. I like Polly. I even like when people cover Polly, which is weird because I generally don't enjoy people covering Nirvana as much. The Gaslight Anthem did a good job. But I've heard some good Polly covers.
You want a good Nirvana cover? Check out Kim Gordon, Sonic Youth singing "Moist Vagina." That's a good cover.
There you go. All right, Jason, number 2.
Oh, I gotta go again. Shit.
It's been a while.
Um, God. My number 2 is Radio Friendly Unit Shifter off of their best album in utero. Um,
Second best.
no, the
What
first.
number are you saying, Ed? Come on, that's why I said second. Where'd you have him at? Fourth, fifth?
Yeah, he had him down. He had in utero down there.
I had Incesticide and then in utero. So yeah.
Anyway, it's a radio friendly unit shifter. It's just that one bridge. Hate your enemies, save your friends, find your place, speak the truth. Like you can't. That's so simple, so um truthful. Words to live by, I guess.
I like that's a great tune.
Yeah. Agree.
It's loud. It's noisy. I've watched younger generations like do a full listen of classic albums, which I guess in year is classic now. But and they always get to like the second half with radio friendly and Tourette's, and they're just like, oh, this is just, what is this? It's like, the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I think
Yeah.
the second half is better than the first. I think on In Utero, but
Um, I also have an In Utero song for number 2. And you've already mentioned it. It's Francis Farmer will have her revenge on Seattle. I love this song. I think it's great. I love the way he sings the "It's so relieving to know that you're leaving," relaxing and asking. I mean, I like the way his voice goes with those. I
Joe, you just made
always
that song into a jazz tune, man. I liked
the
it.
it's so relieving. Oh, that's relieving.
I think I could have been a lounge singer.
So
Yeah.
I think I missed my calling.
you could be a lounge act.
Ooh.
Do
Um,
do 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 do.
you should hear me sing the some Alkaline Trio. I really fell on the lounge act there.
See, one day we'll get Chuck on here. We'll get him to do show tunes.
Yeah, he loves that stuff.
The whole story, the backstory of it is great. I love the fact that she's from that area, how much he relates to her. The I miss the comfort in being sad. When I first listened to it, before I ever got liner notes, I always thought he said, "I miss the comfort of being sane," and I was like, "Oh, that's a cool line." Then I read the lyrics, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm wrong. It's sad." Um,
I mean, you think I miss the comfort in being sad is fucking some poignant shit, 20 years later, the Wonder Years wrote that one. I can't remember the fucking song or the can't remember how it goes. It's the same gist though that Kurt said on In Utero was like you miss being sad, you miss that the comfort of fuck it all, you know.
and you said the line earlier about her coming back as fire and turning everybody to ash. Just a great song. I love that one. All right, Jason, I think you're up for number one. What is your number one Nirvana song?
My number one Nirvana song is my number one song. Period. I kind of mentioned it in the other one, but it's On a Plane. Um, and I know probably lyrically it's the most throwaway song. He literally references it in the song. He was just writing lyrics to fucking sing them and record them. But even off the cuff, on a whim, he wrote like really good lyrics. My favorite line of the song is the black sheep got blackmailed again. Forgot to put on the zip code, and it's such a at the time, I guess people still mail letters. Zip code something that's like it doesn't really matter, something that's small and to get written off or to you know blackmailed again. It's just that line always stuck with me. The bridge somewhere I've heard this all before. In a dream or memory stored as defensive neuter and spade. What the hell am I gonna say? It's like he literally ran out of. I don't know that. To me, that's my favorite song of all time. It has been since I was 12 years old. I don't see it changing anytime soon.
You never know. Next year you might get a new one.
I was super happy because it's on Unplugged, and I search out versions of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one they did as often as Drain You, but it's an amazing song.
That is. It's a good song. My number one is Heart Shaped Box.
Shit.
Was that gonna be your number one? You just changed your mind? That's your favorite song?
No, I was gonna do a fucking my number one was Floyd the Barber, but I forgot.
Don't mess with Mayberry. Um,
Oh,
so Heart Shaped Box, I have loved that song ever since I heard it. That was like I played it on repeat whenever I got in utero. A girl in high school wrote it in my notebook because she knew it was my favorite Nirvana song, which I thought was very sweet at the time. It being about one person liking somebody more than the other, supposedly that might fit in with that relationship there. Uh,
we're just fucking hopeless romantics here. I mean, we just got all these love songs up here.
hey, I don't know why Get Hurt wasn't everybody's favorite album cover. That's another
Cause
video. Watch that one. But yeah,
Should be
I
called
think Heart
Butthurt.
Shaped Box is
hey, the art looks like a butt. I'm telling you.
hopeless romantics here. Yeah, it's to me best song off that album. My favorite Nirvana song. Ed, tell me
That,
your number one.
hold on, before we move on,
Oh,
that's my is my guitar tuned song. I always play that song,
oh, nice.
Hmm.
and it's like do no no no, and I know what it sounds like if you're playing the E instead of the drop D. And I'm like, okay, my guitar's in tune, even though it's not tuned to play Heart Shaped Box. I know it's in tune to play a normal song.
Yeah, that's a good one. All apologies is a good one for that too.
Yep, well, apologies is another good one for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
Ed,
my
number one.
number one is tied between
Oh, there ain't no tie.
Lithium and All Apologies. But I think for the sake of the show, I'm gonna pick Lithium because I think that song is. I know Teen Spirit caught everybody's eye, but Lithium's always caught my eye. I think um, he talks about duality, I think it was written about, from my understanding, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but he had his uncle who was, I think he was religious, and that had something to do with the song. Um, but I just love that chorus, man. I mean, I know it's not he's not using his best poetry in that chorus, but it just I don't know when I hear that chorus, you just hear a lot of freedom, a lot of just I don't know, just putting it out there. Like it's just I think that song represents the '90s generation better than Teen Spirit, in my opinion. I know Teen Spirit is a hit, but I think Lithium should definitely be up there with it. It's a classic tune.
Yeah, I could probably relate to the lyrics of Lithium more than Teen Spirit. If I was a
Hmm.
kid, when I was a kid in the '90s, I'm so horny, but my will is good.
I mean, it's great. Like everything they talk like he says in the song is just um, yeah, like talking about his friends being in his head. Like I mean, it's great. It's a great song, and the chorus that's probably one of the catchiest choruses
I
you're gonna
like
get
it. Not
in
gonna
a song.
crack. To
Yeah.
me, whenever he talks about the Pixies reference or the Pixie influence, I think of Lithium more than Teen Spirit because it has that quiet, loud.
Hmm.
The quieter parts are quieter than Teen Spirit, and the louder parts are louder than Teen Spirit.
Yeah. And the writing like in the verses is really good. Like he catches. I don't know, man. He was good at putting himself in people's shoes and um, coming up with good lines. Like he had the teenager thought pattern down. Like he knew how teens thought, their struggles, and what they went through, and he was able to put it down in a way people could understand. So
Yeah, I think
that's Lithium.
I have
I think
notes
did a lot
about
of that.
this for another band, but that whole time period of like the Prozac Nation time, where if something was wrong with you, they were, you were fed a pill and told to buck up, little camper. Um,
Hmm.
so that was
Yeah,
that was kind of a strong sentiment in those times.
and it
Oh
does something to your brain. Like that's sorry, but even physically when I hear it, like it does something to my brain. Like that. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just see stage diving and moshing and just freedom is it's just free.
yeah, Chris's bass in that is so good.
Oh yeah, on the pocket. Chris is a great bass player, man. Like,
Yep.
if you catch some of the stuff that he does, even the punk stuff, the fast stuff, um, off of that
Yeah,
album
I
too.
tried to check out the new band he's in with Kim from Soundgarden, and just it's not my style.
Yeah. No, he's got a little. He's older now, but back then, dude knew what's up.
Um, Jason, parting thoughts.
Party thoughts is Joe has Floyd the Barber is 5 4 3 2 1.
I don't think that's accurate. I think we've had a technical difficulty. We need that
Yes,
sound.
sir. Number one's Variate. Yeah, I could have easily done a top 30, top 40. Um, this is hands down my favorite band of all time. They influenced me both as a person, as my musical taste. They're the reason I got into No Effects and Green Day and all of that. Um, so I can't really argue anybody's choices. I think they're all 15 songs listed, or I guess there's a couple duplicates, but they're all amazing songs, easily top. You know, that's all I got.
Ed, parting thoughts.
Yeah, one of my top favorite bands. These songs are great. We could have done 40, 50, whatever.
I
We
can't believe
went
you didn't pick "Talk to Me" though. I thought "Talk to Me" would have been up there.
It's up there. It was up there. I thought about it, but I think Lithium is probably my top favorite tune for him. But Talk to Me, yeah, definitely. And there's only a live version of that. They never really recorded in the studio, so it's interesting. But yeah, no, it's a fantastic band. I mean, like seriously, like he put if you're a homophobe and you don't like color people of color, please don't buy or he put that in an album, you know, in the 90s. Like it's you didn't see stuff. I mean, he influenced us, I think, not just musically, but like the way we think, you know, not just the way we dressed or anything. Like it's just the way he helped us evolve into something different, you know, that we were more accepting of people like you know than they were at that time. So
It was a
I mean, like,
shifting of the tides. You had your radio hits were all about girls, 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 and
mhm.
how many girls can you sleep with to Nirvana's In Bloom, or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it changed. It didn't just change the music industry; it changed the
culture. Yeah,
social, culture of the '90s. It shifted.
And it,
yeah, and you started seeing people be more accepting. That's when it started. You know, people started being more accepting of others and sexual orientation, and even like biracial couples stuff that you didn't see much of in the '90s, at least not in the South when we were growing up. You know,
No, no.
so it I'm not saying they are the reasons for all that, but it was something that you didn't see people do. I mean, the fact that the label let them do that, I don't know how that happened back then. You know, I'm glad they did,
And by no
but
means were they the first. They were
no,
just
no,
the biggest.
yeah,
You
oh
know,
yeah,
the
oh,
Dead
they were
Kennedys
huge.
existed way before that, but they took that the punk rock ideology and the like Ed said, the sexism, racism, homophobia shit, and they brought it to the mainstream and said, "Hey, you guys are fucking stupid if you don't like, if you think women are beneath you or you know colored people are beneath you, you're fucking stupid. Don't come to our shows. We don't want your money."
Yeah, who
it,
does that? You know what I mean? Like
oh
I'm
yeah.
just I'm glad they did it, but it's crazy that
At
they
that
had
time,
that
nobody.
forethought. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Um,
And
we'll get into Pearl Jam eventually, but they not to the same extent, but Pearl Jam were their first album. They were talking about things that were different compared to they were talking about childhood
mhm.
abuse and other things that you wouldn't hear Def Leppard write a song like that.
no.
you know,
Yeah,
they were
it
talking
was
about
a
forcing sugar on me.
it was a new breed of protest rock that was happening, especially with Pearl Jam. But yeah, no, man, it's seriously this list could have been a lot longer, and everything on here is a banger, and I'm be listening to that probably on my way to work tomorrow.
And for me, I'm assuming, like a lot of people, this is really a gateway into other music. I'm sure people who had families who didn't listen to anything, and once Nirvana got big, like I said, MTV, I remember that music video very vividly for Smells Like Teen Spirits. But once that kind of infiltrated the mainstream music and you couldn't not hear it, then people like me started digging for other things. You're like, oh, well, there's a completely different genre of music that I haven't been listening to out there. So I
Oh,
got to explore this.
it was my gateway. You could just if you saw Kurt live or in an interview, he's wearing like a Dinosaur Jr. shirt. You're like, well, who the fuck is that? You go
Mm-hmm.
check him out, or Sonic Youth, or Mudhoney, Soundgarden. Soundgarden used to wear Nirvana shirts all the time. They were all friends, and it was definitely a gateway. The Pixies. He's like, oh, Pixies was a big influence on this album. Like, well, who the fuck's the Pixies? You go listen to the Pixies. Like, oh, okay, I see that.
Hmm.
So huge influence.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they were the original influencers of their day. They didn't have Facebook, they didn't have Instagram, but they could wear their friend's band shirt on stage, and they knew that. So
Mm-hmm.
they had that forethought. They were ahead. They were ahead of their time. Like I mean, it's small things, right? But it worked. They were big bands, you know. And then hey, you should check them out. They didn't, like I said, they didn't have Facebook, or they couldn't share or whatever. So they just wore their shirt, and
Yep,
it worked.
and it
It was
worked.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad that nowadays people just think, oh, well, yeah, Nirvana, grunge, they influenced the fashion with the flannels and the da 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 da. And it's like that's just what they wore in Seattle or up north because it's fucking cold. Like if that's what you
Yeah.
remember because of Nirvana, then you fucking missed the point.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So there you have it. This has been Top Songs from Nirvana. We appreciate you, and we hope you enjoyed watching as much as we enjoyed making. If
We
if you think we got it wrong, let us know your rankings in our Discord and here in the comments.
and again, I might do a playlist in the YouTube of all of our songs, so you could check them out yourself.
Absolutely. I think playlists are going to be a lot of fun for us to get involved with, especially people who maybe haven't delved this deep in some of these bands we're doing. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell your Aunt Denise all about us. Aunt Denise is bored, y'all. She needs something to watch and listen to during the day, so do her this favor for the love of all that's good. She'll thank you for it. Until we see you next time, stay safe and make good decisions.